I'm going to start this video out by asking a question. Am I a coward? Am I a coward because this game, Eagle fans, this game against the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday night scares the living shit out of me. As an Eagle fan, it scares me. Because the Atlanta Falcons last week in week 1 got housed by the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Matt Ryan was under pressure all day. Threw a couple picks. I think a punt was blocked. Kirk Cousins only had to throw the ball 10 times. They ran all over the Atlanta Falcons defense. So I should be feeling pretty good about this game coming up against the Eagles. But it scares me. And it scares me because this game now becomes more important to the Falcons than it was before. Before they circled it on the calendar. Before they wanted to beat us because we've beaten them the last 3 times we've faced them. So yeah, it scares me. And I think it's a natural reaction. And to be honest, when the schedule came out, I had an L marked down for this game anyway, for all the above. And then I watched last week, and now I understand that the Atlanta Falcons are a desperate team. So I asked the Philadelphia Eagles coming into this week, please prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Let me look in the mirror and let me tell the people in the reaction video afterwards about how stupid of a coward that I was to doubt this team. And why would I doubt this team? Well, I look back at week 1 against the Redskins. Case Keenum having almost 400 yards is almost unforgivable. He's got an 88-year-old Vernon Davis, an all-pro Hall of Fame running back that's old as himself and didn't even play. Wendell Smallwood was on the team. Wide receivers who I still can't name were catching bomb touchdowns. I mean, it just was you wanted to rip your hair out watching that first half. And yeah, the defense came back in the second half, man. The Redskins couldn't do much, but that Eagles defensive line still didn't get much pressure. Only had 1 sack on a stunt by Timmy Jernigan. And then we go into this week and find out Malik Jackson, who I thought was going to have such a huge year, is out. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a tough game for the Philadelphia Eagles. Can they get the win? Can they get the win? I think that they can. They obviously can get the win. You saw that offense in the second half. Carson Wentz, Deshaun Jackson, Miles Sanders had a couple great runs. Darren Sproles didn't look like he was 50 years old. The offensive line looked as productive as an offensive line can be. Zach Ertz showed flashes. I mean, they have guys that didn't show anything that they didn't need, like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside that would start on most teams. Dallas Goedert that would definitely start on over half the teams as a tight end. Probably 80% of the teams as a tight end didn't get a chance to do much because these Eagles have so much. So yes, they can go into Atlanta and win this game. Yes. But to do that, they're going to have to prove me wrong. And not so much the offense, but the defense. Let's get at Matt Ryan because you can't let him have a bunch of time. He's going to try to get the ball out as quick as he can to these wide receivers. They're going to try to get Devontae Freeman going. Stop the run. Get in his face. Show that last week against Washington, that first half and even the second half, was just a preseason game because you guys didn't play preseason together. Now the Eagles signed a guy named Akeem Spence. Knows the coaching staff. He's a D tackle. Maybe he gets in there. Maybe he can make some plays. This is an opportunity with Malik Jackson going out for somebody to support their family, for somebody to show their stuff. Will the Eagles activate preseason standout Deshaun Hall, a guy who had 3 strip sacks, 5 sacks in the preseason? Will they activate him to give a little bit of a boost to that defensive line because they have got to control. If the defensive line can control the game, they win, bar none. Because I think the offense will make enough plays to win. So, as a prediction, my score for this game, I still have Atlanta taking the W. I just think it's too important a game for them. They don't want to start off 0-2. After getting embarrassed in Minnesota, it's their home opener. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. I think they get the win. I think it's going to be a score of like 38-31. They're going to put up points because it's in a dome. They're going to put up points. I really believe that they are. But I do think Atlanta takes this one, and Eagles go to 1-1 facing the Jets next week. Very, very, very winnable game. But it could go the other way. I mean, it really could go the other way, and the Eagles could win. I just don't know. I don't want to be a coward. Like I asked you, am I a coward for picking the Falcons? Maybe. My heart says Eagles. My brain Half of my brain says Atlanta, the other half is unsure. So I'm just going to go with Atlanta in this game. Again, I hope the Philadelphia Eagles prove me wrong. And on one last note, Carson Wentz, you're not going to watch this, but if you do, for some reason, if you just click on YouTube and you're bored, you're in the bathroom, you're on the toilet, and you got your number 11 jersey on, you're scrolling through, and you're just looking for something crazy to watch, and then you see this video pop up with a professional wrestler making an Eagles video, and you want to get a little extra hype for Sunday night's game, I just want to ask you this. You know, the Carson Wentz Revenge Tour is a very, very real thing. Fourth and John and E-Rock made this a movement, and I think it's a real thing, and it started last week. And one of the things that we've been told about you, Carson, is that you can't bring the Eagles back. That in every game that you've had that they've won, that you guys have been ahead. So what did you do last week? The defense gives up 17 points. You go into halftime 20-7, and you come out on fire, and you bring the team back, and they win. Check. Next thing that they say that you can't do. They say that you can't win in a dome in prime time. Against a good team, against a playoff team. That's what they're saying. I think you can. My issues with the defense, but I think you can. So let's prove them wrong. Let's get that second check. Prove them wrong. Prove me wrong. Make me look like an idiot. And show the world why number 11, Carson Wentz, and that revenge tour is going to steamroll through the NFL this year. So even though I picked the Falcons to win the game, it's all birds here. Let's fly. Go Eagles. Everybody subscribe, like, watch, and share. Let's get hype. Sunday night, just hours away. Let's do this thing. Go Birds.